What is going on, guys? Your boy Joey Shakes coming, guys, with a video right now. So I want to go over the Philadelphia Eagles. I want to go over some news. And I kind of really want to get into this whole rumor about the Jets trying to trade out of the top 10 with the 10th overall pick, okay? Now, the Jets have been trying to get a receiver pretty much since the first day of free agency. They tried getting DK Metcalf. They've been trying to use that 10th overall pick for something, okay? They might try to get Deebo Samuel with that pick. I have no idea. It could be a draft day trade. Who knows? But I feel since Joe Douglas is there, Howie Roseman might give them a call and say, hey, let's move up to 10. They move back to 15 and we give them maybe an extra pick or whatnot in this draft. I don't think it's going to cost. I really don't think it's going to cost that much to move up 5 spots from 15 to 10. I really don't. So what do the Eagles do if they get this 10th overall pick? Okay, and we all talked about trade-ups with, Seattle could be a trade-up at 9 because they might go for a quarterback. You have Carolina that might be going for a quarterback at 6, but trading to 10 would only mean a few reasons, okay? You're looking for some trade-up candidates, okay? You move to 10, there's only a few guys I could think of, and I think Sauce is going to be off the board at cornerback. I think what you can really get here is a few players. Kayvon Thibodeaux, you got Derek Stingley that's very realistic right now. Okay, you got Jermaine Johnson, the defensive end from Florida State, and there are some options at wide receiver right now. Now, getting Stingley is probably going to make more sense because you jump in front of the Vikings at 12, when we're at 10, and I think that's definitely a definite spot where Stingley could go. So this could be for Stingley, or if they move up to this 10th overall pick, they could get one of these top wide receivers that are going to be going top 10. It's going to be Garrett Wilson or Jermaine Johnson. Okay, Jermaine Johnson is a very enticing pick for the Eagles because I know they brought him in for a pre-draft visit pretty late. They're pretty much near the end time of what they were doing, before the draft, one of their last pre-draft visits. Jermaine Johnson could be that sleeper pick for the Eagles. Now, there was a video that I couldn't put online. I tried to see if it was going to get copyright claimed, and it did, so I couldn't put the video up. Here's I put up a slideshow of his training, and this is from, this past week. Okay, now the rumor is, since coming off that ACL in the championship game, which was, in January, whenever the championship game was for Alabama, okay, Jameson Williams would be the number 1 wide receiver in this draft without this injury, okay? He is looking really good right now, okay? He is already lightly jog walking. I mean, he's pretty much almost sprinting at this point. I mean, by the draft, there was rumors that by the draft he was going to be running, and then by training camp he was going to be ready. If the Eagles picked him up at 10, if this was even the case, okay, I wouldn't even mind if the Eagles stashed him for most of the year, okay? Just to say, hey, you know what? Let this guy rest. He might be ready by training camp, but they should just rest him. And I mean, rest him like crazy. I understand you're going to tell me, why would you trade up for Jameson Williams if he's hurt and he's already – because I think he's going to explode in the league. I really think he's going to play really well, and I think the talent is there. And to get the best receiver in this draft in the top 10, would be fantastic. I think Howie Roseman would get him, sit him, put him on IR for a while, and then bring him back, maybe later in the year. Or they could just start him at, they could train him. I don't think as soon as he gets to training camp, he's going to go 100%. I think they're going to, take their time with him and, let him, get the ropes of everything and, kind of like a slow transition to coming back and not rushing him too much because it's already taken him this much. And he's been way ahead of schedule since his ACL. I mean, way ahead of schedule since the injury. So, like I said, there's some trade-up candidates in this draft. I think that number 10 overall would be perfect. If the Jets can't get a receiver at 10, they could definitely get one at 4. Okay, they have 4 and 10 as of right now. So, the move-up candidates, they can get Kayvon, Jermaine Johnson. They could go get Stingley, which is a huge possibility. I think Stingley at 10 is a huge possibility because I think the Vikings could take him at 12. Could happen. But Jameson Williams really intrigues me. He really does going into the draft this year. ACL injury or not, I'm not a big fan of getting guys coming off injuries. I'm way against it, but Jameson Williams just is a deep threat burner with great running, great catchability, and he will just outrun any defense. To bring Devontae Smith and getting this guy together in the same room giving Jalen Hurts another weapon. The Eagles did not go in free agency. They could have had Calvin Ridley. They didn't get that because of certain situations with him. That deal would have got done. The Eagles haven't brought a receiver here. I know we were kind of looking for that proven wide receiver to come here, but I got to say, the work ethic from Jameson Williams is off the charts. Him coming back from this injury, he wasn't even supposed to come back this early, and he is looking really good right now. Between not just the rehab he did in these pictures. I watched some rehab when he was, he started inside the doctor's office and the training facilities, and then he started to go outside as of this past week and start catching balls and really jog running, pushing weights. I mean, he's even deadlifting at this point. He's deadlifting and he's lifting one knee above. I mean, he's putting weight on his back while he's taking one step onto, where you lay down. It's kind of crazy. He's way ahead of schedule right now, but I think this could be one of the big sleeper picks for the Eagles in the first round. And like I said, I wasn't a big fan of getting a receiver in the first round. I'm just saying what I think the Eagles will do. And I like Jameson Williams, and I would still draft him if he's there at 10. So they're either going to get Stingley, or they might get Jameson Williams here. It could make a lot of sense for the Eagles, and I would not mind, because at this point, if you're just throwing this season away, it looks like they're tanking. It looks like, I don't know if they want to compete this year. I really don't, because when you look at Howie Roseman talking about the long term, he wants this draft to be more long term than short term, which he said a few days ago. Okay, and that tells me they want to get these long-term pieces. So if you're not in a rush to draft Jameson Williams and sit him for most of the year to get him 100% to the full ability of him being healthy, I am totally fine with that. I really am, because I know we're going to pick some other good players in this draft. I know we're going to be drafting defense, so there's a lot to really go on here. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. This is just something I've kind of put together a little bit, and could see this really happening between Joe Douglas being the GM over with the Jets, Howie Roseman making the phone call. The Jets are trying their hardest to get a receiver, badly. So they could still get a receiver at 15 if they trade with us. So, we'll see what happens, but it should be interesting. I don't know how much the compensation is going to be, but I think 10 is a perfect spot. There's definitely, like I said, Seattle, Carolina. There's definitely a lot of spots to trade up in this draft and see if Howie Roseman pulls the trigger. And I feel like the Eagles are not just going to sit and just deal with what they get at 15. I think they're going to try to make a move here, and if they get to top 10, if they get to the 10th overall pick, they might get their hands on Jameson Williams. No joke. I think Stingley is definitely a possibility, but Jameson Williams, I think, is a definite possibility. So you guys let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes, what up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.